Hello, hello, hello. Bye bye, DJT here. Remember to vote blue in every election, local, state, and federal. As we know, guys, Donald J. Trump is the king of voter fraud. He has lied since 2016 about losing the popular vote, and he's lying now continuously without any proof of what he has to say. But the thing is this, guys. I'm going to show you the video that they're using to state their voter fraud. And then I'm going to show you the security video of the woman that they're saying scanned ballots multiple times. So hold on.
After pulling out hidden boxes stuffed with ballot.
Okay, now first off, what I want you to do is this. I want you to pay attention to that time. Do you see that time right there? 11:09:59. Okay, 11:09:59, because that's the time I'm going to start with what they're saying. So hold on.
Plus, footage analyzed by Gateway Pundit reveals Freeman apparently scanning the same stack of ballots over and over again. Surveillance cameras show these poll workers watched and waited until the GOP observers and reporters had left the room before they resumed scanning their ballots. These four workers then continued counting uninterrupted for over 3 hours until sometime after 1 in the morning. During this time, Ruby Freeman, as seen here in this video, repeatedly scanned the same batch of ballots at least 3 times, which is highly illegal, and it's all captured on tape.
Okay, now, I want you to see that time, all right? I want you to pay attention to that time. Let me just go back a little bit. Do you see? 11:13:01, okay? Now, you hold on, guys. Okay, guys, so what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to start this security tape that they have at 11:03 when she sits down at the desk, okay? So that's what I'm going to do for you. Now, if you remember correctly, I showed you they started theirs at 11:09. So I'm going to start this 6 minutes sooner, and I'm going to run it past the time that they did of, hold on, they ran it to 11:13:05, and I'm going to run it past that. So hold on, guys. Okay, so remember, I'm starting my tape a lot sooner than what they did, all right? And I shouldn't say my tape. I'm starting the security tape when she sat down at 11:03 at the table. So let me get this arranged right. Just so you know, I'm trying to fix it for you guys so you can see everything. Now, this is going to be a long tape. But if you guys can spend several hours listening to Trump lie, I'm sure you can give the truth a few minutes. Now, I'm going to start it, and I want you to pay attention. There's no audio, but I will be talking through it. And as a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. Now pay attention, guys. So she's setting up at her table. And her daughter, I guess that's her daughter, brings her some ballots. Now I really want you to pay attention. I'm going to zoom in on the entire desk, because I really want you to pay attention to her, who they basically highlighted. So I'm doing the same thing, okay? They highlighted her as cheating, so I'm highlighting her so you can see. Now again, this is going to take a while, and I'll bring this down so you can see the time running, 11:04:22. All right, so you can see this is frame by frame with the way the security camera is set up. So again, this is going to take a while. But again, if you're going to listen to a liar, you can listen to truth. Now you're going to see when she starts to put the ballots in the machine, you're going to see that she also has to press her computer screen for processing, and you'll see what happens. But basically what's going on is she's going to put the papers in there, and what happens is the machine jams, and you'll see that, and I'll point that out. So here she is putting paper in the machine. Okay. She goes over to her computer, presses, and then on the top you're going to see the top of the computer above her head, or the scanner, you're going to see paper come out. There you go. Okay. See it come out? All right. It's running smooth. I guess the daughter checks the machine a little bit right there. So right now everything's running smooth, and it's 11:06. Now remember, they started at 11:09. I'm doing it sooner, at 11:03 when I started. So they pulled some paper out because it jammed. So she put that over to the side. And she touches the computer screen to make it go again. And more papers are coming out because it jammed and it stopped. So it's still processing through. Still scanning. She's just sitting there watching to make sure the machine's running properly. Now it's 11:07. And if you see, nothing's happening. Looks like no more scanning. So it looks like it's like the papers have stuck. So what does she do? She pulls out the papers on the top. All right. Checking the papers to make sure that they're not folded, any edges, any corners fucked up. She realigns them. Because with the paper where they are, they're folded, they get creases. They're hard to go through sometimes, so you have, just like a regular copy machine, you know that. Sometimes when we're copying things, it jams, we have to address the jam. So she puts them back, looks like she puts them back into the bottom rack. And what does she do? She presses the computer to clear it, because you can't run them through again. So she's clearing them. Then she presses a button basically to make it start to scan again. And here it goes again. She's scanning, it's scanning, it's scanning. And as you've heard from everybody in regards to the scanning machine, if they jam, you have to pull them out, fix the papers, and then clear the system and run them through again. They do not copy twice. They do not scan twice the same person and their vote. So it's just running, it's scanning. Everything's running smooth right now. Now it's 11:10. Remember, they started at 11:09. I gave you 6 minutes earlier. See, again, paper's at the bottom and it stops scanning, so she has to check the papers, make sure the folds or the creases aren't stopping it. She pulls them out, she's checking for folds and creases. She's just not pulling them out and running them through multiple times because the machine itself is jamming. So she aligns the papers, she makes them smooth. You know how we do when we all done it. We've got papers, we tap them on the table to make everything nice and smooth on the edges, both top and the sides. So that's what she's doing. Making sure corners, the edge of the papers, corners of the papers aren't folded because they're jamming. So her machine's having issues. And she's trying to align the papers to make sure that it's smooth and adequate on both sides, front, the top and sides. So she puts them all together, does the same thing, making sure edges are smooth, everything's even. She's checking the papers in between, making sure they're not folded so it'll jam again. So she's not trying to cheat. She's having issues with the machine. If she was trying to cheat, it wouldn't take this long. Run the 40 through, and there are only probably 25 or 30 pieces of paper there. Not the 18,000 that Donald Trump and his lawyers are saying. I mean, hell. It's already taken, I started 11:03 and it's now 11:12. Okay? It's taken 9 minutes for her to do that batch. So she puts it in, she touches the computer, clears it, presses run. The tray pops up to make it go in, to make it work, so the wheels can pull the paper. See the tray move? Tray moves up and down to adjust the alignment for the wheels to pull the paper. There's the one piece of paper's gone. Here's another one. Here we go again. It's already 11:13. Running the papers through. It's still scanning. So the thing is this. When you have papers left on the bottom and she stops, she's not doing multiple scans of the ballots. The machine is fucking up because you can tell because you have papers left on the bottom tray. They're not running all the way through and she's recounting them as Trump says. There's issues with the machine, or else the bottom tray would always be empty for her to see how the bottom tray lowered. Again, it jammed. Again, it jammed. So what does she do? She looks at the paper, brings the papers out from the bottom tray, because we're having issues going through the feed. So again, she's going through the papers to make sure that there's nothing folded, creased, the corner of the paper's folded and it's not catching, making sure things are smooth. So see, it's not she's trying to do that. Now what's the daughter do? She pulls the paper out, she opens up the machine to clear the system, to clear the jam. There's issues with the machine on scanning. There you go. She's working on the machine. Heaven forbid, now Ruby pressed the computer. But there's no papers in there. And it's already 11:16. So it's taken 13 minutes to do one little batch and having issues with the scanner. So I'm going to let this run some more. That's really about it. I could play more, but there's no cheating going on. They lied about this, and they gave a specific time period, and I showed you what happened. Remember, folks, vote blue in every election, state, local, and federal. Donald Trump lied, and he showed you lies in a videotape when you have the security tape showing you exactly the opposite of what they're saying. Stop being fooled.